Right off the bat here, I need to point out these 2x10s that are glued and nailed to the web of this I-joist. There's one on each side, and they're turning this I-joist rafter into a structural member that we can hang a 4x12 beam on with a joist hanger, a beam hanger. You know by now that these engineered wooden I-joists cannot be treated and used in quite the same way as normal dimensional lumber. But that does not mean that there are not workarounds that will allow you to get the job done. It's all detailed in the manual, like I said before. And if you don't find one in the manual that matches your site condition, you can call them up. But in any case, make sure you get familiar with the specifier's guide, because on any given job there will be situations that require some deviations from the norm. This little wall got knocked a little out of plumb. Don't know how, and it doesn't matter. We're going to fix it before we go any further. Now, you see me cutting this hole, butchering this hole actually, in this shear panel? Cutting or drilling holes like this in the sheathing is no problem at all. It does nothing. It does less than nothing to the shear strength of the wall, and it's very much standard practice when you got to do it. A quick squeeze with a come along and a strap, and our wall is plumb once again. There were some good questions in a previous episode about these rafters and how they're just resting on a slope. They sort of look like they could just slide right off, don't they? A normal rafter has a notch or a bird's mouth that it's resting on a level surface at the bottom, for sure, and sometimes at the top. But as you know, not being able to cut into the top or bottom flanges of these I-joists make it impossible to put a bird mouth in this case, especially since we are attaching the false tails, which would make it impossible to do any additional reinforcing at the bottom if we put the bird's mouth cut in. In the design stages of this house, I was skeptical of this detail, as it was shown in the installation manual. I was concerned about the rafters sliding off because they're being held by screws and not a bird's mouth. I was concerned enough that I called the engineering department at Boise Cascade, as well as Dave Thomas, my structural engineer, and they both gave me the same education. That is, the roof sheathing acts like a complete diaphragm, locking everything to the overhangs and to itself, and also locking the roof to the shear walls at the gable ends. In addition, the shear blocking at the roof edge is locked to the plates and to the wall sheathing on the side walls. I brought my engineer to the site. Dave looked it over and said, "This is fine. This is as per calculation, full speed ahead." That's what I have visualized, but
that works fine. Normally,
so away we went. and it's comforting for me to know that there's nothing to worry about, even if a carpenter has not done this before. Got to come 3/4 of an inch. Oh, back to you now. Now, the carpentry work that I'm doing in this part of the video, and this part of the house as a whole, is a little too particular to try and explain in great detail. But try to visualize that what I'm doing is connecting 4 different roof planes to each other and to a gable wall end at a 37-degree angle. We're going to be back in this corner a few times before we're finished, and you'll get a good idea of how it all goes together once it's done. For now, just remember, the complicated carpentry situations, like a lot of other complicated situations in life, are sort of solved on the spot. You'll hear more about this in a coming video. If you're new to our channel, I hope you'll take a look at the whole video library. We've put up a lot of videos over the years, and we're proud of all of it. If you go back and look at some of our earliest videos, you'll see we've come quite a ways in just a few short years. It really is a pleasure and a blessing to put this content out, and we truly appreciate your support. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman, and keep up the good work.